I have actually never killed that dragon. It is the one boss in Dark Souls 1 I've never beaten. And it's not because I can't. It's because, yeah, by the way, way back there is the item. There's a side path you can take after the first crystal golem you fight on the invisible platforms. That leads to a little ledge you can drop down, and you can then navigate the invisible maze. Fuck that maze. We are not doing that. And then from here, we can see a bunch of these clams. Which can follow you into the boss arena. I didn't know that until when we played live.
Yeah. And then Seath just kind of kills them, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, you just need to evade them until Seath does one of his big sweeping attacks, which is pretty much all of his attacks.
Yep.
This is, however, a farming zone. This and the Ash Lake where these guys spawn. Because these guys drop two very useful items.
Pearls?
No. They do drop transient curses, which if you look in there, all of those what look like pearls are human skulls.
Oh, sweet.
Not transient curses. Fuck, I forget the item's name, but it's what removes curse.
Oh, yeah. So
the thing that looks like a kind of a skull and a tea biscuit is what that item looks like. And that's good because if you get killed by Seath's crystals, you're cursed. Which is what all the statues in the zone are. At this point in the game, you've already gone through the depths, so you should be familiar with what those stones mean.
Right.
These guys also drop Twinkling Titanite, which is what people actually farm them for. And Twinkling Titanite is what you use to upgrade unique items and boss weapons.
Oh, okay.
So, any weapon that in lore is one of a kind, and any weapon you get from a boss soul, you upgrade via Twinkling Titanite.
Okay.
And
so there's actually a point to the fireplace in Seath's
right there,
chamber.
Twinkling Titanite. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can use the fireplace in Seath's chamber. You can go down to Ash Lake and use the fireplace down there. Either one is fine. But yeah, if you're using a unique or boss weapon, these guys are the guys to go. So if you really like the Dragon's Tooth Havel's weapon, that big ass giant club.
Yeah.
Then yeah, you farm these guys for Twinkling Titanite.
Okay.
If you like any of the boss armor, it's Twinkling Titanite to upgrade those. And some of the boss weapons are viable.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope so.
Yeah. Oh, Dark 1 is probably the worst in the franchise about giving you useless weapons. Like, none of the claw or fist weapons are fucking usable. Like, you use a claw or fist weapon in Dark Souls 1 as a challenge run.
Right.
Like, I'm intentionally gimping myself to do this.
Yeah.
Dark 2, every weapon class, I would say, has a viable option. And Dark 3, with the introduction of weapon arts, I would say you can very easily run through pretty much the entire game on at least a first run using any class of weapon.
Okay.
Now, granted, there are, like, jank versions, like using a normal longsword as compared to something special. Not that great.
Yeah.
But if you want to use claws, there are viable options for claws. If you want to dual wield, there's viable options for dual wielding.
Okay.
Dark 1, on the other hand, like, claws are garbage. Most of the daggers are trash.
Yeah, that's why you only use the claymore ever.
Yeah. Like, there's a list of weapons that are good, and you're going to see in this run, I end up using the Lucerne against Seath.
Okay.
Because the Lucy is kind of what a lot of people consider a boss killer. The reason for that is...
it's got reach.
A, it has reach, and B, a lot of bosses end up having, like, if you have a really big reach sweep weapon, multiple hitboxes.
Oh, okay.
So you can double tap them.
That's nice.
And here we have Seath's porn hard drive.
Yeah.
And like most nerds, when you discover their porn stash, they get really upset. Like, he fucking tore himself out of the couch that he had fused with in order to stop you from looking at his hard drive.
Look at that albino skin.
Like, he has not seen sunlight in decades.
Yeah.
He does do, you know what, I was about to say he does really work out the arms. But no, you can really see his ribs. That guy is just like not taking care of himself.
Yeah.
He does have quite the booty though. He's got a butt. So, most bosses in the Souls games will drop a unique soul that you can use to make their unique item. Dragons are the exception. You cut off their tail, which is just this Japanese thing.
Okay.
Fun trait about his spray, when he does the big sweep that goes in 180 degrees, where he starts is weaker than where he ends.
Oh, that's interesting.
So the beam itself does a little bit of damage, not too much, but it's the crystals he summons up after the fact, and they start small and get bigger.
Oh, okay. That's unusual.
It is a weird trait. But how he aims is he starts away from you, so he leads into the big. And if you're... It's kind of a, what is the Smash term where you... It's a DI thing.
Oh, okay.
If you misread and DI in the wrong direction, you eat hard shit on that move.
Right. Wow, that was a one-hit kill, more or less.
That was a wombo combo.
I mean, it was 2 hits, but yeah, like...
Yeah,
wow.
he knocked me into his other hit. If you're not careful, he can spank you pretty hard.
It's a move that combos into itself.
Yep. So yeah, when you're that size, flailing like a goddamn lunatic, completely viable strategy.
I see you're wielding the Lucy here.
Yeah, I got the Lucy now. A lot of people swear by this as a boss killer. It's not super great against normal people. It's got a spin to win, which for some reason fucks with a lot of people. But beyond that, not super great PvP. If you want a reach weapon in PvP, the Great Scythe is the way to go.
Okay.
But the Lucy, still a super solid weapon. One of the reasons why a lot of people, when they start their run, make a beeline for the Catacombs, because the Catacombs have both the Lucy and the Great Scythe. So you can really easily deck yourself out right at the start of the game.
Yeah.
And if you pick the right starting gift, and you know where to grab certain items, you can, at level 0, run and get a, I think without grinding or doing anything special, you can get like a plus, I want to say +4 fire weapon right off the word go.
Damn.
And fire weapons, I don't believe scale with anything.
I mean, that would make sense, given how fire or pyromancy works.
Yep, so I misread how close I was, and you might have noticed my curse meter got really fucking high there!
Yeah.
So yeah, if you misread that breath, that one right there, like, it can hurt you.
Yeah, it looks like it. You're also misreading your,
my reach?
Distance, yeah.
Yeah, so, this is one of the reasons why I don't use a lot of reach weapons in the Souls games, is because, I don't know what it fucking is, I have trash depth perception in these games. I have no fucking clue what my reach is at any given time. So I generally use the weapons that's just like, alright, the reach is right up in their dick.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Like, even if you had good spacing, you wouldn't be missing.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah, you seem to have this idea in your head of where it is, and that idea is incorrect.
Yeah. Plus, hitting Seath's legs and arms is a pain in the fucking ass. Like, the big trouble with it is, they wibble wobble, and what they'll do is, when you start your animation, you'll be within range, but he'll push you out of range and then move out of range. He's kind of a cheeky dick about it.
Don't you mean they schwabble wobble?
Yeah, they schwabble wobble. He schwabble wobbles a lot.
Schwibble wob schwab.
Yeah, he does that. That makes it a pain in the ass to hit.
Nope.
Like, see, he's pushing me.
Yeah.
He's a really pushy dragon. He's kind of an asshole like that.
Splendid.
And he keeps fucking jizzing all over the battlefield. Just getting these crystals everywhere.
Yeah.
He fucking vomits it out too, which makes you wonder what the fuck he was doing upstairs.
I mean, drinking it, obviously.
Yeah. See if you're gross.
Or as Chris Chan calls it, recycling.
Oh god! I was wondering how long it would take to get Chris Chan involved in this mess. Seath is the Christian of the Souls universe.
Yeah.
He's kind of pathetic, no one likes him, and his only real claim to fame is creeping out on girls.
He's looking for a boyfriend-free girl, yeah.
Like, everyone kind of agrees that Crossbreed Priscilla is his daughter. The big question is, who's the mother?
That is a good question.
So the two leading theories are it's either Gwendolyn or it's not Gwendolyn, Guinevere. Gwendolyn does not have the parts to make babies. Though who knows? They both have snake butts. They might have had some sordid affair.
Yeah.
No, it's her or Velka. And the two theories are for Guinevere, she's amazing chest ahead. She is this beauty. She was Gwen's daughter. Gwen and Seath used to be buddies. Now Seath hangs out in his house all day and doesn't really talk to anybody. And Gwen and him seem to have had a falling out.
Okay.
On top of that, one of the theories behind Havel is he saw something he wasn't supposed to see, and that something was he knows who Priscilla's mother is, and it's of great shame. The other theory is Velka, and Velka is believed to be the mother figure seen in all the statues throughout the game.
Okay.
Because we have that mother-daughter statue pairing.
Right.
And once we get into the painted world where Priscilla lives, the mother-daughter statues, the daughter is a small child, not a baby. And it pulls great attention to it, because to open the path, you need to turn the statue to face Priscilla's boss chamber. And Velka is the goddess of sin. Whether she is the goddess whose domain is sin or the goddess who sinned is up for debate. And on top of that, she's considered an outcast among the gods, and coupling with a dragon could be what is the thing that made her an outcast.
Okay.
Or it could go in the other direction where she was an outcast and therefore was in a position to couple with a dragon where the other gods are like, ew, gross. It's just like, bitch, you hate me anyway. What do I care?
Yeah.
Either way, Priscilla is half god, half dragon.
Right.
And this is just the dialogue.
My dear sister, you know, I still remember your beautiful, silky face. If only I could gaze upon it once more.
Her entire shtick is just twisting that knife.
Yeah.
And it all depends on how you want to read into Quelaag and how guilty you feel for killing Quelaag. And if you feel no guilt, it's like, sucks to be you, fair lady.
That's actually kind of how I feel right now.
Yeah. Because you're very much of the opinion if they draw first, whatever happens after that ain't my fault.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, like, I would prefer not to initiate battle, but if you go after me and you don't even fucking want to talk about it, like, I'm gonna defend myself.
So, Fair Lady here makes a lot more, like, emotional sense in the original cut of the game, where the Chaos Covenant leader was Quailana.
Right.
I mean, Quelaag.
Yeah.
And Quelaag had voice lines that would talk to you and wouldn't just attack you on sight. Alright, so now we're going down to the Centipede Demon.
Yeah, we're just skipping all over the place.
Yeah, now it's the part where, like, the video quality should be fixed by now. I'm past the dumbass parts. So, should see a market improvement. But anyway, last thing to say on Priscilla is her arena has an interesting secret to it.
Okay.
And that the floor you fight her on is rigged to collapse. Like, there's another zone below it. And in the original draft, that's where you fought Nito, and Nito was down there.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, and like you would go into the back of this chamber and it would collapse, and there would be the Grave Lord. Though they switched it and they put him down in his tomb because it made way more sense to fight the fucking Lord of the Dead in the crypts than the Painted World. And I forget if it's fatal. Nope.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. Dark Souls 1, you can survive some pretty heavy drops.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things people really hate about Dark Souls 2, is like, you fall 3 feet and you break your fucking ankle in that game.
Yeah. Solair! So I have a theory about crossbreed Priscilla.
Oh?
She doesn't have a mother. Because it's never stated. I think I have the best theory. Because honestly, we're living in a fucking world where all sorts of weird magical shit happens, and different species work completely differently than everything else. Like, the fucking gods are totally different than humans and shit like that. Like, you don't necessarily need sexual reproduction. And things can be born of magical experiments.
True enough.
Maybe she's a crossbreed because she just, like, she was born of one of those fucking captured women, like, melded into the dragon's essence or something shitty like that.
Like, that is a possibility, but I think that the fact that her name is Crossbreed really implies that breeding was involved.
Yeah, I mean, potentially.
Like, if she was hybrid Priscilla, then it would be more like, okay, yeah, she might be born of magic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mostly I'm being cheeky.
Yeah.
Just because, like, people are really big into reading into shit in this.
Oh, man. Souls really tapped into that, like, what does it mean? What does it mean?
Yeah.
Like, Miyazaki really connected with that particular zeitgeist.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, if the Souls games, with all their esoteric bullshit, came out in, like, the 90s, a lot of people probably wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
Because for Souls to really thrive, it really needs that online community who want to pick every little thing apart.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
What I love about the Souls games is it has, in a sense, multiple communities. It has the PvP communities that are all about, like, figuring out good builds and play styles.
Yeah, it's like the fighting game community of the Souls franchise.
What's nuts? And yeah, Centipede Demon is always a bitch like this.
Yeah, that's obnoxious.
You need to get him onto the platform before the fight really starts. Once you do, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
But he really likes this reach attack.
I mean, it's a good strategy.
Yeah. Solair's being a dumbass and just hanging out.
Yep.
Anyway, people have done LAN battles with Dark Souls. Holy shit, when the latency is 0, it becomes a fighting game.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the hitboxes in PvP are actually really good. It's just if you have any latency at all, you know, as in doing anything online,
right,
they become trash. Because it's measuring the hitboxes against what it's showing you. But at latency 0, oh, good God, it's its own game. So yeah, you cut off the Centipede Demon's tail, and unlike a lot of other things, it becomes its own entity. And will get up and become something else to fight.
Yeah, but apparently it doesn't have many hit points.
Oh god, it is fucking empty on hit points, and it will die quick.
Yep. Good.
Which is good. The upside is, the orange ring is what you really came down here to fight. And that makes Centipede Demon a really bizarre boss, because he's quasi-optional.
Okay.
At this point, if you don't care about saving Solair, you just need that ring. So if I was to die in this run, I could then forevermore ignore the Centipede Demon.
Okay.
Because I certainly don't need anything else he drops, and I not only don't need the path he unlocks, I don't want it. It is the trash path. But if you don't know about the Fair Lady, which is really easy to miss, and if you don't know to give her humanity, then yeah, he is required.
Right. Which I would not call required at all.
No, he is an intended boss. Like him, Gaping Dragon, Capra Demon. It's intended that you kill them, but without cheating the game, you can skip them.
Okay.
So that's the thing about Dark 1. You have optional bosses where it's clearly telegraphed, no, you don't need to do this. You have intended bosses where if you're playing the game normally, you need it, but if you got, if you know the shortcut or you know to get the master key, you can skip it. And then you have the actual required bosses where there's no way to skip these guys. You need to kill them.
Right. Jeez.
And then you have... What the fuck is wrong with the cat?
I don't know, he's just going crazy.
Yeah. And then you have a handful of bosses that are just like... yeah, you can skip if you fucking cheat the game and use exploits. That opening blends in super well.
Yeah.
Because that is not the exit.
Nope.
It doesn't look like the exit, and if you look at it closely, it looks like molten metal. So it's implied that the Spider Sisters, when they were coming through here fleeing, they sealed it behind them.
That would make sense.
And the path you actually take is just some bullshit. Because it looks like at one point this was all one big, really cool city. They just got fucked over.
Yeah.
Like, super hard.
Yeah. Well, that's why they call it Lost Islith, right?
Yeah. So, if you're going to save Solair, this is where most people fuck up.
Why?
Because it's like, kill the centipede demon.
After all this searching, I still cannot find it.
So, it's kill the centipede demon, and then go talk to him here. But the trouble is, even if you talk to him here, if you take about 10 steps further down that path, he's screwed. So you need to walk right up to the edge of him getting fucked over and then backtrack. It's so fucking weird.
That is so dumb.
Yeah, no one really likes the Save the Solaire quest line.
Yeah.
And he's after his son. He's looking for his son, S-U-N, not S-O-N.
Right.
Why?
And it's not a literal thing. He's looking for some purpose beyond just helping people. Like, he's looking... His motivation is finding motivation. And he's a generally nice guy, but he can't seem to find it. And so, in the end, it's either he becomes a chosen undead, he rekindles the fire in his world, or option 2, he finds the sunlight maggot. At this point, is so desperate. He sees this glowing thing. It's like, it's like the sun. And then Wareson's like, I found it. I found my son. And then just like loses his mind. Like straight up goes crazy.
Yeah. That's the happy ending. Because he's happy. Because he found his son.
I have a maggot eating my brain, and that's fine. I have a brain eating my maggot now. Yay! So the final step in the process is you go down here, you open the door, you do the dinosaur, and then you kill some ugly bugs. If you walk away with the sunlight maggot, then you have successfully done this part of the quest.
Yeah. So you do some bugly Uggs.
Yes. If you're going through the game normally, you don't know this. Excuse me. God, got phlegmy for a second there. You don't know this is a shortcut.
Okay.
If you're going through the game normally, and it'll be towards the end of the game, like the end of the Lost Isles zone, that you'll double back and find this spot.
Oh, okay.
And you'll find him in basically this alleyway, more or less, where he's gone crazy, and then will attack you, and you have to put him down. From a gameplay perspective, it's do you want his gear or do you want to help him in the final fight?
Right.
And this is the one. It has glowing red eyes to signify it is different and evil.
And it's running away from you.
Well, they all run away from you.
Oh, okay.
So when you're going Tomb of the Giants, the 3 options are Skull Lantern and not have an offhanded thing. You get the Sunlight Maggot, which you either get here or by killing Solaire.
Okay.
And then you don't have a helmet on. Or you learn the light spell and dedicate enough of your stat points to cast it, which I think is like an intelligence... I want to say 12 or 14. It's not that high,
Yeah,
but...
that's not bad.
It's still suboptimal build for a non-spellcaster. And then even if you are a spellcaster, you have to sacrifice one of your spell slots for it.
Okay, yeah.
So one way or another, you're sacrificing one of your slots. And what's really fucked up in a bizarre way, if you're a spellcaster, you kind of want the Skull Lantern because you're not using your offhand.
Right, that makes sense.